crazed elk suddenly crashed into passing vehicles. The old driver inside the car was so frightened that he immediately stopped the vehicle. He thought he would inevitably have to visit the Ford's repair shop. But the crazed elk suddenly calmed down at this moment. Then it bent down and kept nodding. It seemed like it had a request, but the old driver couldn't understand what the elk was trying to convey. Then, without hesitation, he drove the car away. Yet the elk didn't give up. After blocking the road for a full 2.5 hours, suddenly, the elk walked toward a car by the roadside. It turned out it had noticed someone inside rolling down the window. To seize this precious opportunity, the elk lowered its head in pleading. It gestured that it meant no harm. Then it let out a long cry toward the woods not far away. The young man immediately understood. After following the elk for a while, the young man suddenly discovered that in a nearby abandoned pond, faintly, a pair of hooves were moving. Without the slightest hesitation, the young man rushed over in a flash. Sure enough, an elk was trapped in the pond. Considering the elk weighed several hundred pounds, the young man knew his efforts alone would be in vain. So he called for a companion. With their combined efforts, the trapped elk was finally rescued. But what the young man didn't expect was that the rescued elk actually gifted him its antler as a token of gratitude. The young man was deeply moved. To commemorate this extraordinary experience, he crafted the antler into a decoration and hung it by his bedside. Just as he thought the matter was over, the elk actually came looking for him again. It seemed like it wanted to reconnect with him. And to the young man's surprise, the elk not only came inside, but also brought its entire family along. At night, they stood guard in the yard for him, and during the day, they rested peacefully on the lawn, watching over the young man's children. The young man never imagined that his initial act of kindness would lead to such a heartwarming bond with these lovely creatures. The harmony between humans and nature was perfectly embodied in this small corner of the world.